Thank the gentlelady. Chair, and I recognize the gentleman from Indiana, Mr. Messmer.
Thank you, Chairman. General Cavoli, in dealing with U.S. missile defense and President Trump's Golden Dome executive order, what may not be known is that Europe already has a U.S.-provided Golden Dome in the form of the Aegis ashore sites in Russia, or in Romania and Poland. These missile defense systems have performed well in the Middle East, but the Aegis air defense functionality in Europe is not activated due to regional political concerns. Given the willingness of Russia to deploy novel hypersonic weapons in Ukraine, is it your best military advice that we activate these air defense capabilities to counter that threat?
Sir, I have, as the Supreme Allied Commander, made that recommendation to the North Atlantic Council.
Thank you. Also, can you explain how the missile defense architecture that we've invested in Europe could protect the U.S. homeland?
Oh, sure. So, some of the radars involved provide some of the very first warnings, and there's quite a bit more, but I think I'd be more comfortable discussing it in a closed session, sir.
Fair enough. Okay. Given the U.S. increase of the drone threats to critical infrastructure military bases in Europe, how is EUCOM planning to integrate directed energy technologies into its counter-drone defense?
First of all, we're eager to do that, Congressman, because a lot of the other kinetic solutions are pretty problematic to use, you know, in congested areas and bases that are in congested areas. We're planning to use a layered defense and a full suite of different capabilities. Some of them electromagnetic interference, some of them directed energy, as you said, some of them just kinetic projectiles. It's important to remember that we've got to do that in close connection to civil authorities from the host nation. And each nation has different regulations for spectrum management, for the release of weapons and things like that. So we work through this daily. It's a pretty big initiative.
Would that be a more cost-effective counter measure to some of the million-dollar missiles that we use to shoot down?
DE? Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's looking for that new way to shoot down aerial objects that doesn't require us to launch multi-million-dollar missiles at $1,000 drone type of thing.
Yeah, very good. In my district in southwest Indiana, General Cavoli, the Crane Army Ammunition Activity Mission, where nearly 25% of the DoD's conventional munitions are stored. A large amount of the equipment and munitions stored there has been withdrawn via the Presidential Drawdown Authority and sent to Ukraine. How important is it from a combat commander's perspective that we modernize and restock these munition storage facilities?
Our stockage levels are extremely important to a combatant commander, sir, and to the extent that they're depleted by operations or by donations to another country such as Ukraine, they need to be replenished. There is a program to do that, well funded previously by the Congress, and it's an important thing for us to consider.
Okay, thank you. Also, General Cavoli, spectrum is a valuable, finite resource that's used by the DoD. There are some in Congress who want to require the DoD to vacate its spectrum allocations. Could you speak to what the impact would be on EUCOM if the DoD was forced to vacate the spectrum allocations, and what would be the effects on missile defense?
Yes, sir. So I think most of the discussion is around the S-band, and we use that. I could go in a little bit more detail in classified session, although I'm, you know, not exactly an electrical engineer, but I could talk to you more about it in classified session. It would affect missile defense and air defense.
That would affect the potential for defending our country in Europe and the continental U.S. as well. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Very good. I'll yield back the rest of my time. Thank you.